Hey, you guys. Hello, hello, hello. This is your girl, Dr. T. I'm coming to you from Sustain Your Biz Academy, the new venture of your girl, Dr. TOD. I'm not going to be before you long because a lot of things are happening at 7 o'clock. So if you are watching and are members of Dare to Imagine, head on over to Dare to Imagine at 7. I have class at 7. So I just wanted to come on real quick. I wasn't going live because I was changing some things around for you guys, but I wanted to just come in and give you some highlights. Number one, we are changing some things on how we're doing things. So we'll be streaming a little bit more inside the academy. So look out for the links. We're going to call them pop-up classes. All right. We're going to call them pop-up classes come tomorrow. So look out for those links for the pop-up classes. And they will be, of course, in business and some just in general. Okay. But I wanted to come on today because as an African-American female and as somebody that prides herself on being a CEO and just thinking outside the box, I've created a practice that has been in existence for 20 years. So 2020 is my anniversary, but due to COVID, we could not really do a lot of things, literally, right? So coming out of the box, my goal was to learn as much as I can. Learn as much as I can about the business because in optometry, they don't teach you business. So anytime there's a business class, I was in it. Anytime there was a webinar, I was in it. Even if it didn't even add value to my continuing education, I did it because I wanted to learn, right? That's just me. I want to learn everything that I start learning and doing. I want to be there. So as I'm in this, and now we are moving toward 20 years of being in business, everything is moving, everything is jiving, and we are now in the midst of getting some things done. But I think when businesses or larger companies look at us as African American women and African American CEOs, they look at us with a different lens. And today was an example of that. So I wanted to let you know that if you are a woman entrepreneur, if you're African American, and for us, I'm sorry if this might offend anybody, but as an African American women, we get the double bullet. We get the woman part and we get being the Black part. Okay. I'm just calling it out there. I'm calling it what it is. Okay. So with that being said, there's a different line, a different aspect, and a different mindset that we must take when we're coming in. So I think sometimes people want to see where we're coming and want to see whether or not we're going to be this angry Black woman. No, that's not what happened today. Okay. I let it known and let it be clear who was in charge and how this was going to work, because I needed it to be very clear from the onset of this journey that if I am providing a service, this is my business. This is who I am. This is my value, and this is what I stand for. Okay. If you don't like it, then you need to think of something else, but you're not going to disrespect me. You're not. And I'm reminded today of somebody who talks about respect, who built his business on respect. And it's right there. So I want to just go to you today is stick with your guns, stick with your principles, stick with your foundation. Don't let anybody deter you from that. Okay. Stick with your guns, stick with your foundation. But let me just give you some things, right? So as we're navigating this workspace, a lot of times that we are going to we're going to be judged tremendously. And a lot of times when we are in these workspaces, we kind of what they call code switching. So what we do is we kind of switch and go into the culture that we're in. Don't do that. Be who you are, right? Be who you are, because you're not going to grow and you're not going to prosper with that. Okay. Be who you are. Be intentional about who you are. We are tied up to other people of color, right? So those are some of the things. So if they had other, African American women or African American women that may not have done well, before you, you're tied with that person. That's unfair. You're tied with that person, right? So if you are different and you want to be able to make sure that you're different, you need to let that know. And that's kind of what happened today. I'm not who you had before. This is a totally different ball game. I don't know who you had before, but this is not how we roll, right? And say it nicely, and I did. I made sure that I'm an expert. I've been at this game for 20 years. Don't judge me. And you don't want your light to dim, right? You don't want your light to dim. As your coach, as your sustainable business coach, I will make sure that your light does not dim. You have to let your light shine. Okay. That's just it. So be who you are, be fierce in who you are, know what you want to do. And if you have any spiritual belief, stay grounded, with that, because that's what's going to keep us, right? That's what's going to keep you. And then let me just one more article here. And then if you look at it, we are so low in the corporate structure that there are not that many of us that are actually up there in those Fortune 500 companies, right? We're growing. We're getting there. We're making some strides. It's a little slow, but it's probably only 1%. Okay. So we're not really up there. So that also kind of puts us back, right? So we are still part of a larger market, ladies. We are still part of a larger market, and you can do this. You can win, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to win in this season. So as for me, I'm just saying, listen, if you're coming for me, I'm going to make sure that I'm standing my ground. I don't know if it's age or what, but I can't tolerate it. And I'm just at the point where, we provide service with excellence, and that's just it. And if you're looking at my skin color and looking at me as I'm a woman, then this may not be for you. Okay, because that's not it. I'm standing my ground, and I'm going to let you know what it's about in a nice way with a smile. That's your girl, Dr. T, because I know how to do those things. So you don't want to be mean. You don't want to come off as too aggressive. You want to be able to kind of really hone in on how you are representing yourself. Okay. You still want your voice to be heard, but heard where it's a professional way. Okay. You want it to be a professional way, and you want your expertise to be known. And if you feel as though that those things are not working from you, walk away. Walk away, because sometimes your pain and your struggle in this, it's not always about this. For me, it's here right now. I've been doing this for 20 some odd years. Listen, if this ain't coming in, I know where my next check will come. Okay, because this is how I do. I am a serial entrepreneur. So I know how to shift and make that money. So think about that. Put that in your spirit. I just want you to win in this season. If you're up against any corporations or you're trying to get contracts or whatever, come inside to Stay in Your Biz Academy, because this is where I also help you to teach to get some contracts and resources of where you need to go to try to get those contracts. Okay. But if you are stand your ground as a CEO, stand your ground. You can do it in a nice way, and just call them out a little bit. When you call them out, they may run a little bit. They may go upper, a little bit. And that's kind of what happened today. But I'm pretty sure that this is not something new. And they figure out how to deal with it. So I just want you to be encouraged that as you're building your brand, as you're building your business, you will come up against though that type of negativity. And I just want you to be grounded when that comes, and be able to stand in that and be able to move past it. So that's where we are. Okay. Because at the end of the day, this is your brand, this is your business, and you want it to thrive and you want it to grow. And at the same time, if that particular entity is not going to help you thrive and grow, then you may have to pull back. You know, you may have to pull back. And I've done it. I've done it. Trust me, I've done it plenty of times. I've done it with partnerships, pulled. I've done it with leases, with corporate accounts, pulled, and I'm still here because I knew that that wasn't for me. There's no amount of money, none. There's no amount of money that's going to make me stay, that will make me stay. There's no amount of money, and not to be subjected to undertones, racial undertones. It's just not going to be subjected to that. So I will post probably what I found, but let me see. Let me just find this for you real quick because I found the other one. You know, it's about respect yourself and others will respect you. That's the bottom line. So even in business, you know, respect yourself and, you know, other people will respect you. And I'm going to kind of go off of a few others. So Martin Luther King, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. That is Dr. Martin Luther King. And the one that I probably am piggybacking today is respect is how to treat everyone, not just those who you want to impress. So, of course, when you're in business and you are really trying to impress, the respect needs to come on both sides. And this was from Richard Branson. Okay, you know who he is. You know, so, you know, now respect even people who don't deserve it, not as reflecting of the character, but reflecting of yours. So sometimes you do have to look at yourself to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing to get that respect, and then that respect will be given to you. So this is your girl, Dr. T.O.D. with Sustain Your Biz Academy. I just want to come in here real quick and talk to you about some of the plights that African American women go through when they are CEOs. And one of them is what happened today, but I'm hopeful and I know that things will work out. All right. So be blessed and I will see you guys on the other side. Also keep looking up for the pop-up classes. I will put that in tomorrow morning. Bye-bye. I have class. Bye.